Okay, looks like we are on day 136 of Road to a Million, which is amazing to hear and think and just be a part of. It's really cool to see how far we've come and just just me. And yesterday too, we saw where I was at yesterday. So being here today, I just got back from a movie. Just went and saw Ferrari, which is pretty good. A lot different from the movies I have been seeing lately. I'm on a run today. Did film a podcast as well, or at least I tried to film. I was supposed to film a podcast today, and it didn't end up. I wouldn't say it didn't end up working, because it did work. It just my guest had to go early today because she got a call from her mom, I believe, and she's like, "Mom never calls me." Ooh, that might be rough. Don't tell me. No, we're good. I thought I just broke my little tripod thing. Nope. Okay. She's like, her mom never calls her. So she was a little thrown back, and I was like, hey, that's all good. If you need to go take care of that, you go take care of it. You gotta go do what you gotta do type of thing. Yeah, dude. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta take care of your business first, and then we can always reconvene and pick up on the following day, which I think will be useful. So that's yeah. It's kind of crazy that, because then I went and saw Ferrari too, and there was a lot of, I'm closing my eyes for a second. There was a lot of death in that movie as well too, and by the time this comes out, if you haven't watched it, it's also part of history too. But yeah, dude. Kind of predicted that as well. I'm just still looking at trying to find new things that I've never seen before. Just paying attention to those things now. That's a big thing for me. It's just seeing the unseen, or seeing things that I've never seen beforehand, which is so cool. Because then I see it everywhere, and it's one of the coolest things ever. But I don't really have a whole lot today. Starting the startup company tomorrow, doing some setter sales tomorrow, which I found out I won't be able to close. The way for me to make $13K doing that each month I'd have to have 250 closes, and if there's only one closer, there's only 140 hours, 160, 4, 8, 12, 16, 160 hours in a given month, and that's a full 40. So it's just I technically could only be making, with one closer, but it's also if I just prove myself and then I get in the closer role instead, then I could be making way more doing it that way. I think it was 10% of each deal closed, which, my main thing still primarily is to be able to have my podcast and then have my anime channel also be monetized. That's my main goal. Those are the things that I primarily focus on. That's where a lot of my energy is going. I think it'd be nice to see how these startup companies work, because then when I see, there's all these leads, because okay, so I've been a part of a big corporation, big companies for so long, and doing the sales role, I didn't get to see the back end of how they're acquiring leads. It was just here's your leads in column type of thing. And now working for a startup where I think there's only 4, maybe 5 people-ish or so within this company, I can see how many leads are coming in say a given month after a webinar, because I've been a part of these webinars all the time, and I've never known the amount of leads that truly come in. So me being able to see how much they're spending on say given ads or something along those lines will allow for me to be able to create my own webinar, my own sales funnel, my own page, and see okay, there is a lot more leads out there, because I didn't understand how easy it was to make $10,000 a month until I made $10,000 a month by doing less work than I was doing beforehand. Just crazy. It's a concept. It's absolutely amazing. So when I saw that at the big company, I was like, well, let's go to a smaller company as well too. Go the startup route. See how many leads they're having in a given month or a given quarter or something like that. And if let's say it's 60,000, hypothetically, let's say they're able to get 60,000 leads or something like that. If a close percent of 2%, that's 1,200 people that you're closing. And let's say if the product's $1,500, that's 180. That's $1.8 million. That's a close rate of 2%. Off of 60,000 leads. So if you had 60,000 leads and you divide that by 3 each quarter, that's 20,000 leads a month. Is that, I don't know, that might be too many. Like, I don't even, okay, let's say there's only 20,000 leads in a quarter or something like that. Not 200,000. 20,000 leads in a quarter. You divide that by 3. That's around 6,000 leads. Say 65. Say 65,000 leads a month. Okay? Times that by 3 for a quarter, you get 19,000. And if you have a closed percent of, I'm going on the low end of 0.2%. That's 390 people, and let's say it was a $1,500 product. That's still $585,000. That's $500,000. And for the company that I work for right now, if that's 10%, that's $58,000. Is that right? Yeah, it's $58,000 in 3 months. Times that by 3, 6 times that by 4. $234,000 a year. Just if there's a close rate of, how many did I say? I said that there's around 25,000 or 2,500 leads, and that might be on the high end. No, I did say. Hold on. What is it? I don't even remember, dude. I think I said a total of 25. No, I had 6,500. Then I times that by. I did 6,500 times that by 3 just to get the quarter. So 19,000, around 20,000 leads per quarter. So 20,000 leads, and then you times that by 4. So that's 80,000 leads in a given year. And if you close 80,000 leads in a given year, that's 1,600 leads at a 2% close, which that's being on a very, very, very conservative level, I would say. If you had a $1,500 product, you close 16. Wait, that's 15,000. Can I go back one? Yes, $1,500 product. You have 2.4 million. Oh, so I might have done a $15,000 product before the first time. $1,500 product. It's 2.4 million if 80,000 leads with a 2% close rate. I'd be happy with that. And if there's overhead as well too. It's interesting. But the numbers that I was going to be running was if there's a $1,500 and you get 10% of that, all right. Get 10% of that, it's $150. And then you times that by what? So there's given 50 closes in a month, and that's 75. So I don't know the math Dylan did for that startup, but I'll figure it out. We'll see how this whole thing goes, dude. My primary focus is these videos, maybe they'll be monetized by this time this is released. I have genuinely no idea. And then also just the matter of fact of me doing the podcast, having those backlogged for a couple of months right at this point in time, doing 2 episodes per week, and then the anime channel, which I may continue doing that every single video every single day until the channel's monetized. We'll see. Because a couple of the videos that I've been doing, and I guess I could be doing a lot more experimenting with the videos that I am releasing. I just kind of put it up there and I just leave the title on the thumbnail as is, even though my CTR is 0.02% or something like that. It's not great. So I'm getting 15,000 impressions, which is incredible. And if I could have a 4... So if I had 15,000 impressions, and if I had a 0.04%, that's 600 views. Which right now it's been at so if I'm having a 15,000, not 1,500, 15,000 and I have a 0.008%, it's 120. So it's an additional, what would that be? 600 minus 120, 480 views, which is good because then if I get a 480, then it'll just compound upon itself. So I'll do some brainstorming around that as well. But other than that, to get this fancy little timer right here today, so I can like start that up. And like before I was doing like a countdown, and I just don't like the countdown. I'd rather have it like count up to be like, oh, you've been working for this long. That just is how my mind works. I'd rather do that than like have these countdown timers. So like I did 6 hours earlier. I think it only does go up to 90 minutes or something like that, which I mean, that's not a bad thing, but then I can just have it count up, which I think will be pretty nice. So we'll see how far that goes. Going to the Springs tomorrow, so that'll be fun. And then, yeah, movie was good. Change is happening. It always is. Just gonna keep keeping on. Just gonna keep trying, dude. As long as I don't stop, I can't fail. So, talk with you guys tomorrow.